Welcome to Geektionary. My name's Corey Hales, and this is the geekiest podcast you'll probably ever hear, where I will try to teach you, along with my friends, about the nerdier things in life. Let's talk about it. Oh yeah, only I may swear. Alright, so this is episode W. I'm with, virtually, one of my oldest friends who I haven't talked to in a long, long time. But I haven't actually seen you in, almost 10 years.
No, I saw you 7 years ago.
Yeah? Okay, thank you for the hand gesture. And this is Michelle. And the reason I haven't said the topic is because I feel like Michelle needs a bit of an introduction before we get into this, simply because she's been kind of jerking me around in terms of finally getting the recording done.
Hey!
I'm just bugging you. I know you had to do things like not starve and go on a school trip. What was it?
I went to school. If you want to call going to school a school trip, I went to a conference.
Oh, yeah, there.
So
that's why you were disappeared. No, you were disappeared. Yeah, I'm sticking with it. But yeah, Michelle is how close to being a doctor?
Anywhere from 2 to 16 years.
Seriously?
No, it's like 2 years,
okay.
Approximately. It's 2 years unless I just give up and sit at home eating Cheetos and Cheetos.
Cheetos, yes.
Cheetos, yeah.
I'll be listening to J-Lo and
yeah. But it's roughly 2 years, but not like the Good Doctor.
Okay. Yeah, you're just an English doctor. That's what you'll be.
Yeah, but I am going to do that thing where you can put your name down on a flight manifest. And so it's, let's say Dr. Michelle O'Brien. And so if anyone has a stroke or a heart attack, I don't even know what things are. I don't know basic medical conditions.
Someone will just get a hernia mid-flight, collapse into the aisle.
But yeah, the flight attendant will come up to me and be like, "Excuse me, Dr. O'Brien," and then ask for my help, and then I won't do anything.
Yeah, you're like, unless they have something. What parsing? That's an English thing.
Yeah.
Parsing. What is that? Parsing. I don't know. I want to know how to finish the sentence.
Parsing a sentence would be a thing that you could do, which is where I would then explain a sentence that you said.
All right.
I can conjugate things. I can analyze things.
Yeah. You're quite the. I was telling people about you the other day because they are hardcore feminists, and you write all that stuff about. Well, that makes it sound like you're writing slander. But the few things I've seen you write about are about minority women in literature and how minorities and women are portrayed in media. I think stuff like that.
Yeah, I do that. I do lots of stuff with animals. In my personal life and in my academic life.
Hey, you liked it so much you wanted to make a career out of it.
I want Dr. Furry. Oh, that'd be a great TV show. Dr. Furry MD.
Be a great show.
Right.
We're like, let me at least say what the topic is, then we'll continue. Okay. As should be super clear to anyone listening already, we're going to be talking about, World of Warcraft. Anyways, what were you saying about animals?
Oh, I do stuff with animals, rendering of animals and how that matches up with the rendering of racialized people.
Like animal.
Did you say animal? They cut out right there. It looked like you said animal farm or animal porn.
Animal farm.
Animal farm. Yes. Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
Or like Avatar, where people were blue and raced and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or World of Warcraft.
Yeah, see.
See, segue.
Have you written any papers regarding World of Warcraft?
No, I wrote a paper the geekiest paper I've written was on Firefly.
No, that's still pretty cool, especially regarding how how Chinese becomes such a the Chinese culture, not just the language, because that's not really language, but how it became such a primary.
Do you say Chinese? I mean, you're right. Chinese isn't really a language, but
it's Mandarin or Cantonese.
Yeah, but it sounded like you were saying they don't really have a language.
Actually, talk. It's a very quiet.
Um,
Yes.
but no, I haven't. I did go to a conference in Texas, where there was like entire panels devoted to World of Warcraft. But like trying to find some sort of meat
Uh,
to analyze about the game.
like actual life altering meat, I guess, of the
Yeah,
game. Like,
like
yeah, like metaphors and philosophy and,
metaphorical meat. Yeah, like how can we interpret the way that the blood elves are like their backstory and nonsense and things
okay,
like that. So.
back to topic. Let's actually start talking about the topic. For those of you that don't know, WoW is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, MMORPG or MMORPG. There we go.
Yeah.
If I said that right, the first.
Maporpaga,
uh,
yeah.
It's made by Blizzard Entertainment, who's made StarCraft, um, the other Warcraft games, and is that really about it?
Diablo.
Yes, yes, they did. How can I forget? I thought so, but I doubted myself. And
Don't.
you should always believe in yourself, Michelle. It's
If
um,
people take nothing away from this show, it should be that. Believe in yourself and play WoW.
yeah, it's the fourth released game in the Warcraft universe, released November 23rd, 2004, which was actually the 10th anniversary of the Warcraft franchise. And yeah, so a little bit of interesting fact stuff. Do you still play it? Because you played it back when it was new,
I
and
play vanilla WoW, as we like to call it in the biz. Yeah, my account runs out, on March because I started doing this is very important. I started doing a 3-month subscription so I could get Diablo for free. And then I played Diablo maybe thrice. So,
yeah,
I sort of still play, but no, I've played since 2005.
okay. So it's not the same character, obviously, because everyone I know usually has several alts, as they call them.
Well, that's an embarrassing story. Do you want to? I don't know if you wanted to introduce so there are classes in the game as there are with many Morphagas.
Yeah, yeah, I could. Yeah, I'll do that. The way the game is played, characters. I don't know why I wrote that. People choose first a faction, Horde or Alliance, basically good or evil. But with all the talks in Texas, that might be something that some people might get all bristly about. You choose a race. The Horde, you can be orcs, which are orcs. Forsaken, which are the undead, right?
Yep.
Tauren, which are minotaurs. Trolls, blood elves, and goblins. The Alliance are humans, dwarves, Draenei, which I'm not sure what those are.
They're aliens. They came down to Earth from an egg and they have horns and they're blue. And they have a tail.
Okay, I hear that I read also there's like tentacle faces.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the men have tentacle beards.
Ugh. Seriously, aliens? That's kind of cool, but at the same time very sad.
Cthulhu, but blue.
It is. Do you think they put those in strictly as a nod to Cthulhu?
Either that or what's the proper word for tentacle porn?
Hente?
I don't know. One of the two. Both, maybe. Likely both.
Yeah, that's depressing. So yeah, Draenei, whatever they're pronounced, gnomes, night elves, and worgen, which are Victorian English werewolves.
Well, yes.
Which is fantastic.
And then there are the new, you can now play as a panda bear.
Yeah, but they can be either race or, they can be either Horde or Alliance, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't played since, Mr. Pandaria came out. I should say that up front.
That was the most recent, expansion though, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyway, what's this sad story that you wanted to?
So with Warcraft, you originally it was you leveled up to level 60, and that was the level cap. And I played a warlock human, and the warlocks are they're mages, but they're dark mages, and you have a little familiar, and you're like a mage, but not good.
Yeah.
But not bad because I was a lion.
Yeah. Well, wait. Actually, I apparently I covered everything about the character except what you wanted me to actually talk about, which I
The class. Yeah.
So yeah, the classes are Druid, which is like a nature wizard, Hunter, nature fighter, mage, standard wizard, paladin, holy fighter, priest, holy wizard, rogue, thief, shaman, primitive wizard, warlock, dark wizard, warrior, monk, monk, spiritual fighter, and death knight, unholy fighter. That's a very poor description, but
Oh,
that's
that's very good. Except for nature wizard is the maybe is I that's the best description of anything.
a nature wizard.
Nature wizard.
So yes, you were a warlock, which had a familiar and other stuff.
Yeah, and I'm magic. I'm magic.
Magic.
Degree in English, 2 of them. Uh, but yeah, I made dark magic, and so I leveled her up to level 60, and then I stopped playing, and then I started playing again, and didn't know what I wanted. This time I had a different group of friends, and we were all like in a no. That's very important. There are things called guilds, and that's you're the group of people who you go on raids with, or you go into instances with, and instances are like it's just you and your buddies compared to the regular world in World of Warcraft, which is where it's every person.
Yeah, I never understood what an instance was, and I have friends that play WoW, and they talk about it as if I should know it, and I just like nod, and it's like, yeah.
You walk through a thingy, and then it's a thingy. It's like a blue viscous
Portal?
portal. That's the one.
Yeah.
You walk, and basically it's just so it's you and your group, your party fighting against the NPCs, the whatever bosses there are. So just your group gets the loot, as opposed to the rest of the world where if you killed something, then like other people are around you. You don't have to deal with people in an instance.
Okay.
Which is a good thing. So yeah, I was playing with a small group of friends, and we were in our own guild, and we would just do little dungeon and raid runs together. And I didn't know what character to make, and I made another warlock, and I leveled her up to 70, and I leveled my other one up to 70. So I have 2 human female warlocks, both brown, with black hair, with like the same face. One of them has slightly different hair though. So I've devoted, you can do the /played, which tells you how many hours you've played. Like that's how many hours you've been logged into the game.
Mm-hmm.
I've devoted an embarrassing number of hours.
Do you know how long?
I don't want to talk about that ever. But yeah, like just too many hours is how many hours I've spent making the same character, basically.
Yeah, you made the same character twice. That's
Yeah, and then I would switch back and forth between the 2 of them whenever they increased the level cap, because now they're up to 90 from the original.
Were they both in the same guild?
Yeah. And you have to understand, when I say I didn't know how to make them look either, so I was like, I'll make them look kind of like me. And so one has my hair as my hair looked when I first started playing WoW, and one has my hair as it is now, which is slightly longer.
Yeah.
I'm super cool. Sorry, that was a cat running.
What the hell was that?
I have a bag of tortilla chips from Costco, and my cat ran headfirst into them.
They had to pay.
Yeah.
Your cat's racist.
It was important that it was from Costco, because that means it's a huge fucking bag, not a small bag.
How old are your cats now?
10, 8, and 2.
Oh. What are their names?
Nachos.
Good.
Plural.
Does attack the tortillas?
No, Bamf, named after Nightcrawler, the sound he makes when he,
Poof.
Yeah.
Bamfs. Yeah.
Yeah, he bamfs, thank you. He doesn't poof. He bamfs.
I'm sorry.
And Lita.
So Bamf, I'm guessing, is the 2-year-old.
Yeah, she ate glass twice.
You're a good owner.
She climbed into the oven 3 times now while it's been on. And she's eaten, a screw.
You're...
but play fetch.
Yeah. Nothing you can say can make it sound better, and I
am not home all the time. I can't stop a cat from eating.
And yet you leave the oven open on, and then you leave, and then the cat climbs in.
Well, sometimes you take stuff out of the oven and you don't immediately shut it. And in that space of time, she's like, "What's this? It feels like a warm laptop." But no, it's fiery death.
You're still a vegetarian?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's how many years? I was 13. How old are we now?
I'm 27.
I'm the same age as you.
Oh, you don't. Oh, I'm glad I had to remind you how old you were.
Well, I was hoping you would do the math from 13 to
Oh,
27.
14
I'm
years.
not a medical doctor. We established this in the
But
present.
it's 13 plus 14. That's not hard.
That's how many years it's been.
Ah,
Anyway.
yeah. Okay, look, I had a concussion in high school, which took away my math and science skills.
You had a singular concussion throughout all of high school.
I got, okay. I was, I don't remember the grade. Shut up. I got a head injury during a gym class. I got kicked in the head during indoor soccer, right in the temple. I blacked out and regained consciousness as I was falling and about to smash my face on the ground. After that, huh?
Who kicked you?
Guy named Caleb?
I don't
Yeah,
remember this.
yeah, because I don't think you ever met. Yeah, this was technically, I guess it would be junior high. So this is before I met you.
Okay.
Yeah, after that, prior to I was really good at math and science, and after that, and it might have just been I hit a wall in terms of math and science, but I blame getting kicked in the temple, uh, and I call it concussion, which may or may not have happened.
Oh, well, in grade 10, we had the gym teacher teach us math, so I
That's
haven't, yeah.
I think I know who that was. Anyways, in World of Warcraft, the setting of the game is primarily fantasy, but there's a large amount of steampunk and science fiction influences, right?
Especially with the advent of the Draenei or Draenei, I'm not actually sure how you say their name as well. The tentacle face
Yeah,
people.
yeah. I have.
Um,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, just because they're from space, and the Blood Elves. So the Blood Elves and the Draenei are enemies, and they came from space in an egg.
Wait. The Blood Elves are from space?
No, the Blood Elves are not from space,
Okay.
but Draenei are from space.
Why are they enemies?
They don't.
Look on your face was great. You look like, why is he asking me? And it's like, actually, wait, no, why are they enemies?
You don't need to know. That's unimportant. Just like they have world events where you have to go around and drop off an amount of linen to open a portal. So there was this thing where the Egyptians were coming, but they weren't the real Egyptians because they were space Egyptians.
Okay.
And you had to drop off linen at a gate to get the gate to open. But the point of it is that you don't need to know why. You just do, because then you get gear. Because the whole thing is about getting gear.
Just like Diablo, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot like Diablo. But anyways, yeah, I did play World of Warcraft a long, long time ago, and I'd played EverQuest prior to that, and I would get any massive and any Mamorpoka. I'm having so much trouble saying I wonder why, since it's not a real word. I usually cap out about level 8 or 10, and I get furious because I'm just like, I don't give a shit anymore.
Level 8 or 10.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, I've done so many goddamn fetch quests. This game is the same thing over and over and over again, and yeah. I didn't know anyone that played at the time when I played them, so that probably.
Yeah, if you don't like farming, with the repeated collection of materials to turn in for quests or to create gear, because there's lots of professions in World of Warcraft, like tailoring and enchanting, which I took up on both characters, which are the same characters twice.
Mhm.
If you don't like that, then you will never succeed in life. In life in general.
Just not virtual life, but life.
No, all life.
Because, yeah, so many times at so many jobs, your body just like, I need 6 wolf pelts.
It's always a fucking wolf pelt. It's
Oh,
wolf pelt and it's linen, and it's people's body parts too.
body.
Oh, and candles. Goddamn fucking Sorry.
Who has candles? What monster's running around with candles?
Kobolds, they have candles.
Yeah,
And
they're on sticks.
Yeah, stick
Underground.
candles. You know what I'm talking about.
Because they're an underground society, so they carry around candles.
Yeah, so you never forget about that. And they don't want you to take their candles. In fact, when you take them, they say, take candle.
Okay.
This is the important stuff, meat of the game.
Why don't the kobolds just make a lighting system? Just lights, like a bunch of lights on the wall.
I would infer from their various sort of simplistic speech that they're not an advanced society. They just seem to be miners, very blue collar workers.
Okay. I thought that through, and that actually makes sense. It's just like, I don't know if I'll be back this way, but I know wherever I go, I might want some light. So,
Yeah.
okay, that's beautiful. Uh, so yeah, there's been 4 expansions, and there's been the Burning Crusade, which was released in January 2007. I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna give a quick summary about what like the plot was of this.
That's great because I don't remember.
Okay, if something comes to mind, like jump in and say if I've at the end, let me know if I've covered it as accurately as you remember. Okay. So yeah, Burning Crusade, January 2007, where the Burning Legion, a bunch of demons, return to attack the world. Wrath of the Lich King, released in November 2008. The Lich King, an undead guy, returns from the dead to take over the world as its one true king. Cataclysm in December 2010. The Dragon Deathwing, the Destroyer, returned, tearing through a dimensional barrier which causes a cataclysm, reshaping the world. And Mists of Pandaria, September 2012. A magically hidden island home to the Pandarans, the Panda people, is discovered. All of these, to me, sound like it's the same thing, except for the last one. No, it's something is returning.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
It's exactly the same.
Some of them were the cool thing about Wrath of the Lich King. If you've played the Warcraft franchise at all, you'll be like you'll recognize the story that's going on. So it like harkens back to the old timey Warcraft. And you actually get to see the Lich King rise to power. And if you're playing as a Death Knight, which was the new character they introduced, where you would start at level 50, which is fantastic because who the hell wants to collect those goddamn wolf pelts?
You start a new character and he would automatically be level 50.
Yeah, and Death Knights, they sort of can do everything. They're like paladins or paladins,
Oh,
in that they're like a semi-hybrid class. People would, like with every class, people would argue that they're overpowered. But it was great for people who are new to the game because you'd start at level 50. You can only have one Death Knight per, server account. So there's different servers.
all right.
But yeah, that was actually neat because you start off as this like evil thing and you become like there was a narrative there that you could follow, which is the first time in playing Warcraft where I actually understood what the fuck was happening or that I cared. Apart from like I knew I had to bring linens to an Egyptian gate so it would open and I could get new gear.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that you covered them. It's basically the same thing. Cataclysm, the map became different, and Stormwind, the main human city, was like,
Destroy.
yeah, things look different. It used to be Ironforge. People
Yeah.
who play Warcraft will understand what I'm talking about. But it actually sounds like nonsense because it kind of is. It's just new stuff, and they raised the level cap 10 levels. So, and all the gear you've collected, the precious goddamn gear that you've spent hours either farming for or crafting or running pugs, pickup group runs, or going on raids with like 40 other people, it's fucking useless now because
Oh, great.
yeah, so the first expansion, I was part of a top raiding guild right before that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I had fantastic gear. And the expansion comes out, and within 5 levels, I'm replacing this amazing, like, that's my sound for fire.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm replacing this amazing stuff with, like, just stuff I would pick off the corpse of a rat. Which is disheartening, and some people quit.
I can really understand that. If you release an expansion, at least do it in a way that makes it add on to what's already there. Don't make what's come before completely moot. Like that's
Yeah.
just what's the point? That's being dicks. Blizzard are dicks.
Blizzard or dicks. It's true. But yeah, like for me, that sucked a lot of fun out of the game.
Yeah.
And so I quit for a while, and then I came back to a point where it was such a completely different game.
This was
That
after Pandaria.
no, I haven't played Pandaria at all.
Oh.
So that was September. That was September, 5 months ago. I haven't played in the last 5 months.
Oh,
But yeah, up until Pandaria, I was still playing infrequently, but I was still logging in and like doing things.
how long was the break that you had between the first and then the second return to? You were an expansion in yourself because you were something that was there, and then you returned back.
Yes, I exactly. They could have had well, I'm not going to say the name of my character, the Michelle expansion. Um,
So yeah, how long was your break?
oh goodness. I played on and off. I would say the longest break would have been about a year, 2 years.
Okay.
2 years would have been, and then I was playing again with a completely different group of people, in our own guild, just like a small group of us, not a bunch of random people, because my original guild, you had to apply to get into, and then go on runs and go through a vetting procedure.
It's
It,
like a job application.
yeah, you fill an application. You have to be, because it's super serious. Like
Mhm.
these were, now they no longer have them. They changed the raid cap, but it used to be 40-man raids. So like you're coordinating 40 people who have like basic social skills or
None.
yeah, to go defeat monsters together. And so you have this person yelling at you in your ear or typing at an inhumanly fast speed.
Yeah,
Uh,
all those people are insane for typing.
yeah, no, my GM, my guild master, he was like, I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he played and tanked and managed to type, but he would just yell and, oh, it was awful.
You-
It was,
you-
it
you-
was trauma.
anyone who can't see, everyone who can't see Michelle's face, she looked legitimately just haunted. But
Like you're for a raid, there's certain nights of the week, and when you go into an instance after you kill the first boss, it sort of saves you to that instance. So you go back in with your group and you kill the next boss, and if you're wiping a lot, that costs gold in repairs, and it's like a second job, because you have to be on from a certain amount of time for like 4 hours a night to do these raids. You have to raise enough money so you can repair your gear. You have to contribute stuff to the guild bank so your guild can get the stuff they need to open the door with the magical linens. And it was like the rating procedure changed when they lowered the number of
yeah,
people who could be in a raid. But Jesus Christ, like you can't pee. Who's gonna let you pee? There's no peeing in raids. You can't eat.
how long
And if
how long would a raid take? Because the peeing doesn't, like, to me, since I've never been on a raid, you can't pee. That sounds like this must take a long fucking time.
It depends on the guild. I mean, I think that we would do, I seem to recall like 4 hour runs 3 times a week.
Wow.
And that's just like a raid, but it also, if you're getting close to killing them, if you're like, it could be longer than that.
Hmm.
It was very intense. And if you're not on immediately when they're inviting everyone, then you get booted because you had to sign up to be
Okay.
part of the raid.
Would you say you ever were, or yeah, I know you're not now addicted, but were you ever addicted to World of Warcraft, as they say?
Um, no, it was great for me because when I started playing hardcore, like as a raiding, in part of a raiding guild, I was in China teaching English to a bunch of preschoolers who couldn't speak their own language, let alone learn English. So it was just like the most soul crushing job ever.
Yeah.
Where I played, uh, Disney movies from my Dell laptop and had my translate. Anyways, the point is, it was like it was just great to connect to something and have some sort of like purpose and goal, even if it was killing a lava monster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say the closest I came to addiction was when I wanted that gear. Like the gear actually mattered to me.
Hmm.
It mattered to me to be able to log in and like people cared about what you're like, because you get like street cred because you clicked a button a certain amount of times in a certain way and targeted certain things in the proper order.
Yeah, yeah.
So that, yeah, I'd say that's the closest to it. But quitting and coming back was always really easy for me. Not as easy for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Koreans.
Yeah, yeah,
Every Korean.
every Korean with both North and South.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, like, wasn't there some guy who died?
Oh, there's
Some,
always a guy who died. There's people who have killed their babies for Warcraft.
yeah, I actually, yeah, I've seen, I feel like I've heard all those things. But
That the way I said it, it sounded like it was a malicious plan. It's just
yeah.
no, like children have starved to death because their parents won't get off the goddamn computer, which is
Yeah.
bad. Like you're out of food, but you're also a student. You're allowed to starve yourself by accident.
I'm not out of food. I was out of real food. I told you I have a bag of quinoa and
Quinoa, live.
quinoa and lots of frozen vegetables, but I was out of I have a large bag of tortilla chips for my cat to run into.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Thing is like I was going to ask, what did you get? And I was like, oh wait, yeah, she doesn't eat meat, so there won't be anything I'll be.
There won't be anything you care about. Yeah.
Have you tried baconaise?
Oh, I have baconaise, I have bacon syrup, I have bacon mince, I have bacon gum, I have
Eat
um,
bacon.
four types of faux bacon. I have bacon salt. Um,
Have you had bacon soda or bacon beer?
I've had bacon beer. I haven't had bacon soda.
Bacon soda is apparently terrible. I was able this Christmas to try a bacon candy cane. Tasted like burnt cardboard.
Yeah, they're not. The candies are not good.
Mm-mm. How's the baconaise? I haven't tried it yet.
It's not as bacony as you. It's more smoked flavor. The important thing about faux bacon is that you want it to actually like that. There's that. Yeah, there's more than smoked to bacon. Bacon is bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Smoked is not bacon. They're different animals.
Yeah.
But bacon salt, very good. Bacon syrup, fantastic. Baconaise, a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah. I I like that you called smoke a different animal than. You know that English wise that made perfect sense, but in my head I just thought of a farm with smoke.
A cow, a lamb, and a smoke.
Yeah, a smoke. Look at the smoke roaming through the woods.
Yeah, like
Oh,
from.
that'd be terrifying. I'd be scared myself.
But going back to Warcraft, it's also important to talk about I'm pointing at you with an eyeliner. It's important to talk about the different types of servers, I think.
Yeah, like the PvP and the other stuff.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
there's player versus player servers where you're like, apart from, I think I played on a regular server, PvE, player versus everyone. PvP means apart from a couple safe areas, like you can be killed with impunity.
Some dude could just come up and murder you.
Shank you in the liver, and you don't even have livers because there's too many pixels. You can just shank you, and all you can do is just cry. In PvE, you have to be flagged for PvP to be killed, or be in a PvP arena, which is a whole other. That's a bloody battlefield.
Yeah.
And there's also
role playing PvP.
Yeah, that's an important one. That's very important to mention that there are legitimate hardcore role playing servers where there are weddings, there are sensual things.
Mm-hmm. Sensual things. The sad thing is that kind of gets to almost not the same kind of field as like hentai, because if you're doing sensual things with computer characters who can at most like maybe hug or kiss or dance sensually, there's no like, then it's just creepy, you know? Yeah.
Well, their actions are limited, but you can make your character say that it's emoting anything. So you can make it on the screen, like so and so, his engorged member rubbed up against Falluvial's thigh.
Yeah, so it's basically just the early chat rooms all over.
Yeah, and it's awkward. And you don't like. I haven't really been on many of those servers for very long.
But you've wandered into some situations. It sounds like
I've seen night elves do things in my day. I'm an old timey Warcraft player, so yeah, I've seen it all. It's like the Patrick Stewart thing in Extras, and I've seen everything.
He always makes that face as if he's like, I've seen everything.
But yeah, it's like that. So it's important to know what kind of server, for those of you who haven't played Warcraft and who might want to, it's important to pay attention to what server you're getting on, because PvP is a completely different. I like PvP. Yeah. I used to hate it when I first started playing. Now it's a blast. Or it was when I was like a few months ago. Right. But you need a totally different type of gear, and you need to hate humanity and yourself.
See, one of the things reason I could never be a real Warcraft player is because when I play video games, if I don't know you, I generally don't want anything to do with you. It's not just like Warcraft. Like I'll be playing Left 4 Dead or Call of Duty or any like a shooter type thing, and if I don't know you, I don't want to play with you because I'm not good and I'm a sensitive man and I can't take the insults. So, yeah, and the thing is the only times I played, I'm fairly positive they were PvP. So that just embittered me hardcore. I want to make sure that we get this part in because this was a huge reason I was so keen about having you as a guest because of your now ended marriage.
Yeah.
But the thing is I just think it's an interesting story. Do you mind if?
Yeah, I met one of my favorite people in the entire universe via Warcraft. We started doing because again I was on this server where people were up late because I was in China, so it was for people who were like up late at night. It worked really well. And he was up from like midnight until 5 a.m. And so we were in the same guild and we were doing runs together. Were to get nature resist equipment so we could go to a raid with our guild. And then we ended up, you just end up doing runs, you meet people who are similar, and you have to, because of the social aspect, you need to be good at playing cooperatively and collaboratively, especially in old-timey Warcraft when they didn't give you as many outs for doing stuff by yourself or with a smaller group.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just started chatting on MSN and then got married and you came to my wedding and it was awesome.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Had you visited him yet?
only when I got back from China. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, like from China too? Cause he was in San Francisco if I remember right.
Yeah. And so we met in a neutral area with, my good friend Sean, Campbell, who you've met, was very, very sweet and took me to Calgary. I was going to get my passport done at the same time. But just in case he was like a murderer.
I've internet dated. I know what that's like.
Yeah, like a serial killer or something. But no, wasn't. Was awesome. Mm-hmm. So that worked out well. But yeah, it was, I mean, and we stopped playing actually, not terribly long after I think like part of the reason you keep returning is because you, like, people you know are playing or people that you have some sort of investment in. Mm-hmm. Are playing, but we stopped not long after. Tried to get into it a few times, but it's just hard unless you have a group to play with. And if you quit for a little bit and return, you're down at the bottom of the social ladder. So.
Oh yeah, you gotta, cause you've been gone. But yeah, I just think that was really cool. To me, like that was pretty much unheard of. This was back when even meeting someone you met on the internet was taboo.
Or, oh yeah, definitely. This was 2006.
Yeah. So this was like if you met anyone that you met initially online, people thought you were fucked up.
Yeah. So we always told people that we met the first place that we met, the city we met in, as opposed to we met in World of Warcraft. And then like if you got into like the circle of trust, then it was like, yeah, we met online. Oh, like Lava Life or I don't know what other dating sites are called.
You know what World of Warcraft city or place you were at when you met?
No.
Oh.
But that, like, again, we were in a guild, so we did run together, but like, we know, like, the area that we frequented the most from, like, the runs that we did was Dire Mall, which is a place with ogres. Not why that matters. Anyway.
Ogres are a key part of every relationship.
Ogres.
Every part.
But no, like, it wasn't one of those, I know other people who have met their significant others or spouses on Warcraft, and had similarly long-term relationships with them. But no, it wasn't like he didn't bring me a twig from a I don't know, a bush or something, and I sewed him some tuxedo pants or something.
With all of those linens that you keep on mentioning.
All those linens. But yeah, no, it wasn't like a deliberate courtship. It was just started talking on. This was during like the heyday of MSN still, so just chatting on MSN.
I still sort of use MSN, but now I only have it as like, I have an email. Little thing pops up. That's it. I don't.
Didn't they get rid of MSN? Didn't they get rid of MSN? I thought they read that on a page somewhere.
It is Windows Live Messenger now.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the same thing, but it's actually joining Skype
Oh, no.
Yeah. So essentially, you can just basically what that means is you can import all your contacts into Skype, which I don't want
Oh,
to do.
I don't, yeah, this is like my Hotmail account from when we were in high school. So
Yeah.
like 2001.
Yeah. I still have the first email account I ever had.
Is that the one or? Oh no, now people know.
I'm,
Oh
oh,
shit.
I'm,
You're gonna have to edit that out.
this is the first. Oh, and I'm totally bleeping it, but
That'll be funny though.
yeah. There were a few things, getting to the end of this, there were a few things about World of Warcraft I thought should be mentioned. First, everyone that hasn't seen it, which to me by now seems like an impossibility, everyone should check out the Leroy Jenkins video,
Yeah.
which was staged, but it's based on a true thing.
Oh, and importantly, that's now an achievement you can get. It's actually cool. I do like they added in achievements. So like fly to a certain number of places or go to explore a certain number of areas. And one of them is if you do the thing that Leroy Jenkins does in the video, which is it's this whelp room. You do have to watch the video. If you do that, you get the title.
Is that chicken?
Yeah, it's really great. So yeah, watch that video, and if you're like playing, there's no goddamn reason for you to not get that achievement.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
sorry.
Another thing, which goes back to you going to all over the world giving conferences about English and seeing World of Warcraft people trying to legitimize it. Did you ever hear about the corrupted blood incident?
I don't think so. Oh, this sounds familiar. What is that again?
This is straight from Wikipedia, the source of kings, as because it explained it. It just explained it from what I understood truthfully and from better than I could ever say it. So. The Corrupted Blood Plague incident was one of the first events to affect entire servers. Patch 1.7, because that's important, saw the opening of Zul'Gurub, the game.
I guess.
Yeah, you know that? Good.
Yeah.
The Gurm's first 20-player raid where players faced off against a tribe of trolls under the sway of the god Hakar, the Soul Flayer. This is all just a happy flavor text for people. Upon engaging Hakar, players were stricken by a debuff, something that hurts you, called Corrupted Blood, which would periodically sap their life. The disease was passed on to other players simply by being near infected players. Originally, this malady was confined within the Zul'Gurub instance, but it made its way into the outside world by way of hunter pets or warlock minions that contracted the disease. Yeah. Within hours, the Corrupted Blood had completely infected major cities because of their higher player concentrations. Low-level players were killed in seconds by the high-damage disease. Eventually, Blizzard fixed the issue so that the plague could not exist outside of Zul'Gurub. The Corrupted Blood Plague so closely resembled the outbreak of real-world epidemics that scientists are currently looking at ways Mamorpagus, there we go, or other massively distributed systems can model human behavior during outbreaks.
Yeah.
The reaction of players to the plague closely resembled previously hard-to-model aspects of human behavior that may allow researchers to more accurately predict how diseases and outbreaks spread amongst a population.
That's crazy.
Did you, I talked to someone that was actually part of it, and they said, that was there when it was happening, and they were a healer. So they said, and all the other healers were in this city, basically just in this big lump, constantly healing each other and meditating to get their mana back, and, healing younger, lower level players and higher level players. It was, and then saying, we can't take these people, and having to send, we can't help you here. There's it's over there that you can go to, which it was so much like a real disease outbreak. I think that's fucking cool. The only other thing close to that is when the Star Wars MMO basically recreated the Russian Civil War. I'd love to get into, but we don't really have the time for. Yeah. That's actually the whole show. It went by quick.
Yeah, really. That's 50 minutes. Holy shit.
Yeah. So, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And that's been Geektionary.